Welcome back. We've got more Super Metroid. It's a good time of the morning. Kipp and Zeb have both had a few minutes to relax, and now they're ready to start on their any percent. We got two different tournaments here. The overlay says dab still, but this is going to be any percent. I'm Mass Hysteria. I'm joined by Cantaloupe me here. Cantaloupe, how you doing?
Oh, doing well, doing well.
Good.
Get some good Super Metroid any percent action this morning.
That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty basic at the beginning, just running through the station and getting to Ridley, getting hit a bunch, and getting out.
That's right. So yeah, this will be a fun run. We've got, within Super Metroid, any percent, there's really two distinct paths that people tend to take. And we're going to get to see both of them demonstrated tonight. Zeb's going to be doing a traditional, what we call an old route, and Kipp's going to do a new route. And as we get a little bit closer, we can talk a little bit about what the difference is. But it should be a lot of fun.
Oh yes, lots of variation and, getting items and deciding how much you actually need, because it takes time to get items. You got the whole fanfare and everything. So it'll be interesting to see the alternate routes, how they submerge. How they merge later on.
Yeah, and I also think it's interesting too in the terms of doing this in a tournament. To see what kind of safeties maybe somebody would take, just because it's not your home stream, right? You don't get to reset and say, well, let me just try again.
Safeties, I would say, save, do a save point or two for some hard points, maybe an extra E-tank or two.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely worth it in a race scenario. Because, how many races have we seen, featured before, and, a runner just, they go all the way to the end, go as crazy as possible, and then all of a sudden they get sunrise surprise or something happens.
So both with 45s coming out of series, pretty good times.
Like the rando, this has a forced beginning. They gotta go get a thing to turn into a morph ball.
That's right. So yeah, although we talked about how there will be route divergence, it'll still be, I'd say, probably another 6 or 7 minutes before we see any real difference between the run. Like Cantaloupe said, we got to head down and get morph ball and just really get the basic equipment to progress along the way.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to get in here to, you can, once you get the items, you can choose your path. We're going to get some moonfall action here. It looks like it. I like the frame sync there. We are very tied.
That's pretty close.
Well, it was close.
That's right.
We'd like to thank everybody tuning in to watch this race at the midnight hour. So we got that and a little missile get over here. The movement in this game is just so crazy tech-wise. Just the way these top runners make Samus move just makes me jealous. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think it's fun too. Even in these basic rooms at the beginning, you'll see different strats from different players. There's just a lot of potential because of the movement control that you have to really just mix things up. Which I think we'll see coming up here. We're getting to one of the hardest parts of the run, which unfortunately for this game is right at the very beginning. We're about one room away from the climb. And if I'm correct, I think we'll see two different techniques used on that. Yep, so we see Kipp doing a ledge grab climb. We call it a behemoth climb, hitting each of those little platforms on the way up. And Zeb doing a more traditional wall jump type climb along the side.
Yeah, that ledge grabbing is it's a whole science I don't understand yet with it. I'm still fairly new to running Super Metroid stuff, and it's like I said, the tech just to move that crisp is very unique in this game. Misfire on the missile there by Kipp. Yeah,
Yep.
go for him one.
So we're coming up on our bomb Chorizo fight.
Yeah, they're going to be shooting, and hopefully they get some missiles from the lottery up here and just try to pummel it full of missiles. Pretty good fight for Kipp.
Yep.
Zeb getting the business a bit, but he got it. Good Alcatraz. How many E-tanks do you think you'll end up seeing between the runners? 4 or 5?
You know, I haven't talked with these guys earlier today. I can see 4 for sure. Zeb has been picking up an extra one most of the time today as we've been kind of practicing and messing around. I know Kipp does 3 tank runs, but I would imagine maybe he'd get a 4th tank on this one.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Here we can see the health difference. Typically when it comes to determining which route somebody's going to run, knowing the health that we have when we go down the elevator kind of gives us a key. Kipp made sure to use missiles on all the pirates along the way down, so that way he has as much health as possible, because the new route run is just, there's a lot more damage that's going to come along the way, and so a lot less margin for error.
Ball to super, the classic sequence break.
That's right.
Sorry, Spore Spawn, we will not be seeing you today.
You know, I think this may be my favorite music in the game.
It's definitely a great track.
This game's got a lot of good tunes, and you know, this Brinstar music, pretty choice.
Yeah, I remember hearing this as a kid and getting goosebumps from it.
Yeah.
Here it is 30 years later, I'm still getting goosebumps from it. I mean, no joke. We're about to, once they get through this mess in Green Brinstar, we'll see which route diversion, see if they're going to go down to Crate or up to Fantoon.
Yep, we see Kipp heading up.
Nice hero shot. Yep, Zeb going with the older route. Crate first. So many variations where you can go in this game.
Yeah, and of course the interesting thing about the routes is that, you know, really, to get the most potential out of going on a new route run, you have to be executing just at an extremely high level. It's possible to get very competitive times on an old route run just through crisp movement, right? You know, minimizing item collection, crisp movement. Now, in this case, Kipp spent a lot of time. He's a new route runner, so this one should give him the potential to have a faster run. But we are coming to the most challenging part, potentially, which is getting across the moat.
Yep. That's a continuous wall jump, right?
Hopefully.
Yep.
There's 2 options, continuous wall jump or horizontal bomb jump.
What's happening? Zeb is setting up for the Kraid quick kill.
Yep.
We got some Kraid DLC action. Always appropriate.
There we go. And Kipp's over the moat. Second try, no problem.
Yeah, it's a crazy strat to go for. Mad props. The damage boosting in this game is you can just zip through some of these screens. Such a beautiful thing.
Now this fight that Kipp's about to have with Fantoon here is also very dangerous in New Route. Any hit that he takes from the fire that's going to drop or from Fantoon itself, it's just going to be a lot of damage.
Looking good so far.
Looking good.
Yeah, 3 cycle probably. And it's gonna be a mid. Nice.
It's good. You know, that doppel where they're able to get in multiple missiles, try as I might, I can't seem to count them. The guys that can get in there and just know, oh, I hit him exactly this many times. I don't know. Maybe it just takes practice, I guess. But
Yes.
Kipp knowing that exact moment to bust out the super.
Yeah, for those who don't know, you fire super missile prematurely and you're going to have a bad time. A slow time.
That's right.
Okay, Zeb went and got the high jump after getting Varia from Kraid, and probably is going to work his way to a speed boost here in a minute. Or ice first. Nice attic. Gotta be careful in that spike room. This spike's deal a lot of damage without Varia.
Yeah, it's 60 damage on that one. There was not a lot of margin there. If Kipp had taken one more hit, he'd have made it. Technically, he'd have 9 more health left, but
Yeah, it's a nice amount of health, but you know, it's you need more than that.
yeah. I guess anything better than 0
Yes.
is a nice amount to have.
But he's gonna get an upgrade here with the gravity suit. He can do swimmy things. Zeb is getting a wave after getting speed. And he'll probably make his way probably out back up Red Tower here in a bit.
Yep. Both guys are looking pretty crisp. Those are some good couple rooms we've just seen.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Time for Spazer Get over here by Kipp. Yeah, the old route you'll see Plasma instead of Spazer, but Spazer's still good.
Yeah, and Spacer gets a bad rap, but you know it's interesting that with new route, you know it's just mandatory. You need that extra damage, and it's just not worth the time to go get Plasma.
No, it's so out of the way. That and Spring Ball are like the two most out of the way things in the game. Nice little Shine Spark there by Zeb.
And we have a little variation from Kipp here. This is traditionally new route is to do Phantoon, then Ridley, then Kraid and Dragon. But what he's doing now is he's going from Phantoon straight to Kraid to pick up Various Suit, which helps later whenever you're trying to get into Lower Norfair to go get Ridley. I think Kipp affectionately calls this one the Captain Picard route.
He'll be able to grab a quick E-Tank on the way out as well, so...
Yep. Yeah, and it's really just a good safety in a situation like this because you're just a little more protected having Various Suit for that rare instance when you don't have Gravity Suit on.
Kill. See the old Ocean Fly. Oh, not all the way. Moat Fly.
Yeah.
I miss Ocean Fly. Ooh. So now Zeb's going to take care of the Phantoon wrap, where Kipp is probably going to make its way to Meridia.
Probably straight down to Ridley.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it makes more sense. And 3 fast in a row. do it.
Yep. Fantoon does not always cooperate like that.
No.
And, you know, that really is something that we see at the high level of this game, how dependent a run can be on simple things like what patterns you get out of Fantoon. You know, how many times Dragon swoops, right?
Yeah, it's like when, you know, Behemoth or Oath, they're going for the wrecker and everything. They need that 2 cycle.
That's right.
Yeah. So far, a pretty good run from both runners with the route divergence and no major mistakes. I mean, it's been really tight playing from both of them.
Nice attic spark there from Zeb.
I didn't even know that was the thing. I learned something new this morning. Time to go bowling, or as I like to call coffee break. I'm doing a randomizer at home and I see this, it's a good time to go get something to drink.
That's right. I don't know why we would need coffee. It's not like it's late or anything.
Oh, no, it's not like, what, 4 in the morning?
Not quite. Almost 4.
I need confirmation. 3:42.
Yeah.
Eastern time. It's definitely been a good day 1 for the event, though, so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
The crew's been working their butt off to make sure this is going off well. Fiesel's leg muscles has just gotten massive from all the run he's been doing. So, Kipp's going to Ridley, and Zeb is probably going to make the Meridia play then, right? Or does he go to Ridley here too?
Oh, yeah, he'll go to Meridia.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like I know a couple routes, but I don't know all the routes in this. I'm not like
Oh, yeah.
100% versed in this as well as I should be. Then again, it's also 4 in the morning too, so we're allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. We all talked about what order, because we had 3 runs we needed to get done. We said, well, you know, what order do we need to do it? And this was the one that, you know, these guys were like, well, we should do this one last because we don't actually want to have to think during the run. It's just do what you always practice every time. Whereas with Dab, you know, there's a lot of figuring out, okay, what do I actually need to do?
Right. Oh, nice lava spark by Kipp. He made that look 1,000 times easier than what it was. It's like I missed the route years ago where you got screw attack. And now, nah.
Well, you do some rando, right?
Yeah.
So you probably still get screw attack a decent amount of the time.
I usually get unlucky and don't get it. I have legendary bad luck for randos. Now we get the worst room in the game. makes it look like it's just a regular room.
Yeah, just the easiest room in the game.
Yeah. Okay, we get our buddy Batoon. Looks like we're gonna get some X Factor action.
Oh, nice.
Almost. That should do it. And fourth E-Tank. I like the play. We get some Plasma Pirates coming up while Zeb is maybe setting up for the halfie or full halfie. Oh. Commentary curse, I'll take blame for that. We got some simultaneous boss action here. Boss music in this game is fantastic too. I mean, every bit of the music, but the boss music just gets the heart pumping.
Yep. So this is another difference here that we see with Kipp's fight versus what we're going to see from Zeb's. Kipp's going to have to shoot Ridley a significant number of times. He's going to have to hit him 60 times versus the 20 shots that we'll see once Zeb is fully stacked with plasma.
Almost Ridley's dead, and Dragon should be about dead too. These short charges are pretty difficult to time as well, but this should do it right. There we go.
Zeb getting an extra short charge at the end just to say, hey, look,
I can do
I
this.
can do it.
Zeb's gonna get the space jump. That will definitely help him in lower North Air navigate a lot more efficient when he gets there. So Kipp's got Meridia left and Zeb's got lower North Air. Zeb making plasma. Looks like Kipp will be running with the 4 E-tanks. Pretty good lower north air there for Kipp. No real major issues.
With the ball boost.
Yeah. If you're going to go all out, go all out. Get all the boost. Zeb about to take a ride down the good old toilet bowl in Meridia. I would give bonus points if somebody would take time to go get spring ball. Hint, hint.
Well, you know, you did miss a fun one earlier. We had Cross Product and Aussie Racing, and Cross took the time to not get spring ball, but go kill Shack Tool within his run, just for good measure.
Nice. Bad Shack Tool.
That's right.
I would like to do a crowd control one day with Shack Tool and find a way to get the chickens from Link to the Past in that room, just so they attack Shack Tool constantly. I think that would be great. That's one of my sleepless, delirious thoughts just now. I apologize for nothing. Keep going with some X Factor action too here. Gets the one cycle, well played. Yeah, as a kid, I had no idea about the special beam attacks at all. And then once I saw the speed running of it, I was like, what? How'd that happen? And then I did some research. I was like, wow, there's a lot of different special attacks. Full heavy. Kipp's going to be going for the short charge strats as well. Let's see if he can nail one. Not bad.
Yep. And Kipp going for the spike suit right there. So now he's going to be able to do that reverse halfie.
Yep.
Oh, I thought he got it.
I think he was just a frame or two short on him. Even with space jump, that's still the worst room in the game. Now, one of the differences between the Ridley fight for Zeb, from where he's got all the beams, it's 20 shots, right?
That's right, 20 shots.
Spark.
Yeah, you know, talking more about the music, Lower Norfair music is another one that it really, when I was first playing this game, certainly when I was younger, and then playing it again now, at some point you just have to tell yourself, like, all right, calm down. This music, it's like scary, you know, scary movie music or something. You know, it's designed to get your heart pumping.
It's like listening to the classic Adam West Batman theme, you know, from the TV series. No, 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 no. You know, it gets that heart pumping.
Yeah.
And if anybody else did not feel that same feeling, I do not want to know you. But nah, it's... Super Nintendo had really a lot of great games on with some great soundtracks, and this is, in my mind, it's, if I had a top 5 list for Super Nintendo, this is definitely in it. It's a perfect game. So Kipp checking in at the Golden 4, be going down about, you know, got in about 37 minutes, some change.
It's another one of those coffee break opportunities, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, coffee break, bathroom break, food break. Good time, fix peanut butter sandwich. Phone a mom and phone your relative. Hey, I'm about to beat Super Metroid in the fastest time ever. Bye. You know, you got that amount of time. It's like when John Carpenter won the $1 million and Who to Be a Millionaire. Calls his dad and says, "Hey, I'm about to win the $1 million. I don't need your help." One of the most boss moments ever. Now, there's a couple ways to get through these Metroids. And one of them I learned from the randomizer. I had no idea power bombs could kill the Metroids.
That's right, yeah. In that rando situation, you can find yourself having to do 3 power bombs to get rid of a single Metroid. So you got to make sure you get them all together, right?
Okay, now we gotta... There's a thing here. I don't want to say it because I don't want to curse. No commentary curse.
Yeah.
Textbook.
Nice baby skip from Kipp there.
The only way I ever get the baby skip to work is after it latches on me, I jump and make it skip.
Yeah.
Baby skip, do. Okay, I'm done with that.
We definitely don't need to make that a thing.
No, we don't.
No.
I'm glad there's not a million people in here.
That's right. The collective groan from the crowd. Fortunately, we don't get to hear the groan from everybody watching online. So
No, we don't even have the chat open for that.
Oh, yeah.
Am I getting groaned at for that one? Not yet.
There you go.
I like that. Not yet. Okay, Mother Brain 1. You also get the zeb-type skip as well, which is pretty much required in this category. You don't have enough ammo.
That's right.
Just recently learned how to do that and was amazed it's easier than it's easier than how it's explained.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 60 shots with Spazer.
Yep, 60 shots. It's interesting that Mother Brain and Ridley sort of have the same health when it comes to the fight here.
Yeah, Mother Brain's pretty standard. We get some French fries. We get some onion rings. Get some burgers. Throws down on the ground. And there's a certain condiment that we don't want none of. Ketchup. But getting the extra E-tank does afford some error here.
Yeah, I will admit, I've got 2 kids at home, and whenever they first heard me talking about, got hit with the ketchup or the French fries or onion rings, they were like, "This game sounds awesome."
Yeah, kids, you should play this game. It's really fun and hard.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold your hand.
Yeah, they're a little young. They've played around with it a little bit, but yeah, it can be pretty punishing.
Oh, yes. Good MB2. Good way to pass time is bomb jumping in the screen. It's a good way to learn how to do it. I think it's easier in this than Metroid 1, but then it's easier in Zero Mission than all of them. From what I hear, I've never tried it in Zero Mission.
So all Kipp has to do at this point is get pumped from Baby Metroid. Gonna hook him up with the Rainbow Beam, and then get off the planet before it blows up.
Yep. And also everybody should be getting their baby thumpy modes ready for this. I cried when I saw this as a kid. No lie.
It's a sad moment.
Spoiler alert, that baby Metroid dies. Pretty sure everybody knew that anyway, if not, oh well. But yeah, very sad moment. This Rainbow Beam does a lot of hits per damage. You can just jostle Mother Brain back until she explodes. I don't know why, but Mother Brain's head, I always picture a football helmet on there. I don't know why. That's the way I always pictured that as a kid.
I can see it. Kind of looks like a football helmet.
Okay, while this is going on, let's see what Zeb can do here.
Oh yeah.
Well done. Yeah, you gotta be careful on that. If Mother Brain, if the baby grabs you as you're going through, it will slow you down. Nobody wants to see that. Okay, so we're gonna see some moonfall here again. Zeb skip for Zeb. Oh, went for the Behemoth Spark. He was a little late on it. Get back up. See, I know this is vanilla, but one thing I like about the Super Metroid standalone randomizer is the little troll they put in if you try to save the animals. I think that's the greatest thing ever. I was trying to drop a hint to save the animals.
I was going to say, I know Kipp is pretty adamant about his stance on whether the animals should live or die.
Yeah. What animals? But GG from Kipp.
Yep, GG Kipp.
Yeah, with the 45-36. Pretty solid time, really.
Yeah.
You know, anything in the mid-40s is excellent in this game. It really is. Yeah, I know the record's a low thing, but you know, you can't base the world record off everything. I mean, it's just, this is a very difficult speed game. This was actually one of the very first runs I ever saw from a GDQ in 14, the 4-way race they did that year. Watched it online on YouTube, and that's where it got me hooked. And also Dragon Dark's Zero Mission run that year too. And then, boom. I am calling commentary on that.
Yeah, and again, you know, to talk about, you were saying how the event's going real well. I think it's just worth mentioning how great it is when things like this get stood up to happen, because, you know, honestly, what opportunity do you normally have to just walk up to somebody? I mean, we were downstairs in the practice room like, hey, you guys want to do a run? You want to, you know, do a little head-to-head or whatever? You never get to do that in the real world. You might could set it up on Discord, but to walk up to somebody, it's a real awesome experience, and I know I feel very fortunate to come be a part of it.
Oh, same here. It's you know, we all play together online, you know, with each other in various communities and stuff, but getting together in person at the event is a whole different experience.
Yep.
And I recommend this to anybody out there. If you ever get a chance to come to SpeedGaming Live, a GDQ or something, give it a go. It's a lot of fun meeting people that share these same interests. It's, you know, it's one of the best damn communities I've ever been involved with in my life, and it's great. Recommend it for everybody. But yeah, they have really done a great job putting this together and, you know, running it with the best power they can.
We are just day one in.
Yep.
So we've got the whole rest of the weekend. Should be a good time. Zeb has put Mother Brain in her place. Revenge has been enacted.
And Zeb is still having a great run too. I mean, he did nothing wrong. I mean, Kipp just played amazing.
Based on the clock, it looks like he's going to get a 45-36 too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think we got one of the best forwards in Super Metroid, if I'm not mistaken. Deer Force. GG from both runners. I mean, it's a tough game. To even beat this game with 4 E-tanks not even going super fast is still super difficult. And collecting only 22 items, there's 100 items in this game. They're only collecting 22.
And that's GG for Zeb.
Yep.
Good run.
With the 45-36?
45-36, yeah.
So that was a tie. We get to go again, right? 2 45-36s. Yep, we will have some interviews, so just hang tight for a few.
Thanks for the commentary, guys.
Oh, very welcome.
Zeb, I'll let you start.
All right, sounds like we're live again. So we've got Zeb and Kipp here. GG, guys. Excellent runs.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah.
So what'd you guys think? Zeb, how about we'll let you go first since you're sitting closest.
Well, I thought my run was pretty good. The biggest issue was Dragon. I just couldn't short charge for the life of me. It was really, really bad, and I felt like I was actually pretty close to dying because I ran completely out of ammo, and I was down to like 200 HP, and I wasn't getting the short charges. Dragon kept hitting me, so
Yeah,
it's like,
that potential for chain damage is always, you know, you miss a couple short charges and then you're just like, oh, I hope this is going to be all right. So, but that just happens, obviously, heat of the moment kind of thing. How about you, Kipp? What do you think?
It felt good. I played, pretty conservatively. Obviously, I didn't want to like push every margin and take a lot of risk. But I ran the Captain Picard route. I'm sure you guys mentioned it, and took a few extra, safeties. I had an extra missile I don't normally get, and another E-tank. But let me talk about real quick. Probably my favorite thing about tonight so far, especially being in here and restreaming, is we're playing on monitors. I've never played on a monitor before, and they're really nice actually. There's only like the slightest, tiniest difference between that and like a CRT or a PVM. But I really like that because you and I were talking earlier tonight. It's cool to play Super Metroid in an environment with people talking, distractions, new equipment. And it's just like, you just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
I really like that. Like, I like the competitive aspect of just kind of like doing something different. So it's been a real blast being in here and doing some races.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And so we'll have a lot more races coming up. Do you guys recall, do you know, Kipp, who you have coming up next to this? Or I guess we have a couple more races we need to happen.
Yeah, I think we got to get a few more people to race before we'll know how it shakes out. But, the Super Metroid, community that's been here, small, but at the same time, everybody's hanging out, having a great time, working together, getting all our races in, getting some restreams in. And I just want to shout out to anybody out there who's considering, getting into the game. We really, truly have a very friendly community, very willing to help. It's a fun game. It's easy to put a lot of time into. So, yeah, you guys should come join us sometime.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, Cantaloupe, anything, or feel pretty good?
GG, Yarp.
Yeah.
All well played.
Yep, nice job with no saving of the animals, guys.
Thank you. Hey, real quick, shout out to Mako. Mako came in very early in the morning to come take some pictures and hang out. So thank you, Mako. Good to see you. And we'll see you guys next mission.
Yep. And so I think we got Cantaloupe coming up next.
Who's Cantaloupe?
Oh, yeah. I think this is ActRaiser 2.
Yes, on a whim, I am doing this because I love the speed gaming community, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll have some fun here.
Yeah. So
Awesome, man.
Everybody stick around and check that out here as we keep going through the night.